Hey guys, check out these books. So, the New York Times asked me to share what my favorite quitlet books were for women quitting drinking. Over the years, I have interviewed so many incredible authors on addiction, people who've written amazing memoirs, and I was so honored to be able to talk about just a few of my favorites. The New York Times writer, Hope Reese, shared 8 books that you should take a look at if you want to cut back on your drinking or quit altogether. And I've been able to interview on the Hello Someday podcast the authors of 6 of the 8 books recommended by the New York Times. So if you want to go to the Hello Someday podcast, you can listen to my interview with Laura McKowen, who wrote We Are The Luckiest, The Surprising Magic of a Sober Life. I've actually interviewed Laura twice, both about We Are The Luckiest and her book, Push Off From Here. Highly recommend both of those. Recently, I interviewed Laura Cathcart Robbins about her incredible memoir, Stash. And I finally got to meet Laura in person at a book event. She is fantastic, and you should definitely read this book. For my 100th episode, I got to have Annie Grace, the author of This Naked Mind, Control Alcohol, on the Hello Someday podcast. We talked about all the things, about how to change the way you think about drinking, to questioning what you think it does for you. Definitely check out my interview with Annie, and you are going to love this book. Here's another one recommended by the New York Times. It is Sober Curious by Ruby Warrington. Ruby coined the term sober curious that you now see all around us being talked about on Good Morning America and the Today Show, in Vogue, and Women's Health. So if you are questioning your drinking, if you are thinking about taking a break, if you are sober curious, check out this book and check out my interview with Ruby. All right. Quit Like a Woman by Holly Whitaker. I had to talk about this book because when I was 60 days alcohol-free, I took Holly's hip sobriety class 7.5 years ago. And what I learned from her helped me change my relationship with alcohol and not go back into the drinking cycle. People either love this book or hate it. I absolutely love it. Her take on why she was not an alcoholic, and neither are you, helped me embrace alcohol-free life. I highly recommend any woman thinking about quitting drinking read this one. And last but definitely not least, we have The Unexpected Joy of Being Sober by Catherine Gray. She has written a fantastic book that is funny and relatable, helpful, with parts of her stories, but also awesome things like top 10 lists. I love this book. It's one of the first ones I recommend to my clients when they stop drinking. So check out The Unexpected Joy of Being Sober. If you want more Quitlet recommendations, I have a ton on my website, Hello Someday Coaching. I have a free guide to the best Quitlet for women taking a break from drinking. I have an episode all about the best Quitlet where I go through 40 titles. So come and check me out.
There's a whole genre of books that you might not ever hear about if you're not a woman who has a complicated relationship with alcohol. It's called Quitlet, books about drinking, quitting drinking, getting sober, and life without alcohol. They're novels and memoirs, essays, fiction, and how-to guides. They are deep and soulful, entertaining and honest, eye-opening, hysterically funny, raw and hopeful. Quitlet books were a lifeline to me in early sobriety. And in this episode, I want to share not only my favorites, but the voices of other women and the books that have inspired them and helped them along the path of reevaluating their relationship with alcohol.